When we move to such restrictions, obviously it impacts us in two ways. First of all, it will restrict our drink sales because you lose the revenue from people coming into the bar or the restaurant and having a drink with their meal. And secondly, it also means that we're likely to see a lot more people who will return to cooking at home as well as getting delivery. As opposed to going out. When you're going to eat in a restaurant, you have that full restaurant experience. You get to enjoy yourself in a nice ambiance with your friends, and by reducing what people are able to do and able to eat in the restaurant, you definitely lose a bigger percentage of revenue by just moving to dine in only.
As the restaurant industry works on the basic raw material process, we don't know how much to order, how much to bring, how much to sell. And I think it will keep going on until everything finishes. So difficulties are there, but I think everybody's fighting.
So, I mean, for us, it's very, very difficult because we have to completely close our business. That means we have zero income and at the same time, very high fixed costs in this particular property. So in this situation, we do not get any small support from the government. And in addition, also the information, the way we are informed is really poor. So basically from tomorrow you have to close. We have 52 staff. We need to organize all these kind of things. We had to call the customers. Now you cannot come anymore and so on.
So we've definitely seen obviously a decrease in sales. The sales has been steadily rising since we were forced to go to the first round of COVID precautions back in April and May. I think at our lowest we were making sort of 35 to 40% of our usual revenue.
It's just a very basic percentage, I would say 15 to 20%. Sometimes when it's very bad, 30%. It drops. Otherwise, it's not a big percentage because people who want to eat, especially with Indian tadka, people love our food, people love our dishes, and when they want to eat Indian tadka, we are ready to deliver. We do delivery ourselves. They can come and pick it up. So that way sales is not very much affected. It's just people who coming up, the value per person has been decreased a little bit because when they come, they order juice and drinks and stuff. But in deliveries, they order only food. So that is the only percentage we are facing right now.
In April and May, 100%, because we couldn't welcome any people, like now, 100%. And then June, July, August, we saw quick improvement, but also due to the closed airport, I would say 50% declined, yeah.
Different food delivery services in Yangon work off different percentages, and they can be anything from 15% up to nearer 30%. Obviously, to be losing 30% of what we're making, it is a huge impact when you think about how relatively low restaurant profit margins usually are. Which means that we have to be very careful with who we partner with and what deals we operate with, and also what deals we can then reflect back onto the guests.
Okay, we are linked with actually everybody, but we have shut down that we are working with only door-to-door, Food Panda and Grab, and all three are doing very good. I would suggest that people who want to order, they can directly go to any of the website because all the links are giving different promotions, different concepts, and it's very good for the restaurants, really, because we don't have to deliver to the customers eventually. It depends on different services from 15% to 25%, and also depend on the restaurants like Pier Road, Myanmar Plaza. So we have a certain set of discussions with everyone.
Look, if you visit Seeds, that is an entire experience. It's not only the food, it's also the service, it's the ambience, it's all the artwork, the garden, it's a full experience. So we decided not to work with delivery services because we believe that our food will lose its quality until it arrives at the customer's home. And then they may be very disappointed, and that is counterproductive. So we decided not to go with those channels. We set up a new idea which is called Seeds at Home, which can be a leg for the future. So these are a kind of mini caterings where we send our very well-trained senior staff to people's home, of course with respecting very high hygiene rules and regulations. And then they bring some menus, some food, and they finish it at the people's home.
Any month without profit. Everything is going well. Actually, as I said, it didn't affect our sales too much. We are still perfect, still doing well. It just at opening and closing of the restaurants are defecting a lot, and people are not coming. But we are sending food. So the sales has reduced, but the profit has not stopped.
It's 6 months. It's now the 6th month we are without any profit, yes. Half a year now.
So far, we haven't actually had to let anyone go. But what we have done is we've reduced staff hours so that staff are working part-time now. And by doing this, it's enabling us to keep the full team on and to keep them together and work through these challenging times together.
We started facing, we have a restaurant in Thailand also, in Bangkok, which was a different case that government asked to close. So we have to close it. It's still closed because our street is still into lockdown. But here in Yangon, from March, April, May, June, July and August, we have suffered closed down, up, down and everything. But we didn't take out even one employee. We give them at least 80% salary to everybody. We try to give 100%, but we didn't take out even one staff because Indian Taka has a family. We are 200 plus employees, and we cannot ask them to leave because I am into problem. Their house is running because of us. So yeah, what we did was when the person we are giving 70%, 80%, we gave them a 1 month rice and vegetables, things for their home, basic things for their home, for everyone. So our employees were not affected with this.
We are very lucky that we have been very wisely managing the seeds the last 3 years. So we built up some savings for these kind of risky or bad times. But for now we are getting to our limit. So if we cannot open again quickly within the next 2 or 4 weeks, we may also have to reduce salaries and manning, maybe up to 50%. And this would be a complete disaster, and it's the reality, and it's not our fault. I cannot understand why Seeds has to close its door. We have been survived by the YCDC committee twice, and everybody was completely happy about the action we were taking. We invested $750 into partitions, in sinks, in sanitizers. So there is no evident reason why we should not be open again.
In the UK, there was a lot of government support in ensuring that workers who couldn't work were being paid a fixed percentage by the government to ensure that they were still able to continue and they weren't suffering sort of from poverty, from the lack of jobs in restaurants. And there was also quite a big push to have rent relief, although that's not been quite as successful in the UK, and a lot of restaurants are still suffering with that. Something that they have done recently is they have put in government schemes whereby the restaurants are able to claim the tax back from diners. So they're able to do promotional discounts that encourages people to come back into the restaurants when they are reopened, and they get a sort of a percentage back from the government to enable them to carry on operating, which is something that is quite interesting. I know that Myanmar operates in a different way, and I'm sure the government have their own plans to help the country out in the months ahead. But yeah, that's not my place to speak to the Myanmar government.
I'll be very honest too, it is a very, very good question because, and I will give you the answer on behalf of everybody in the industry. If you ask anybody from the restaurant industry or hotel, they will ask for the same thing. Everybody is facing COVID, but we all think that the expenses are still the same. Sales is reduced, the sales are going down, but expenses are the same. Government should bring out some rule or law for all the landlords, for all the landowners, property owners to reduce the rent which a restaurant is paying. Because that is the biggest expense we have to pay. And Myanmar trend, we have to pay 3 months, 6 months, or maybe an annual. So, which take out a lot of big money from our pocket, which we can use for our staff, for our savings, because it is a bad time for everybody. So, this is the only thing I would suggest, that they can do some negotiation. And like Thailand has the law. Thailand gave 4 months free to everyone, even in India, even in Singapore. So we all expect that if a rental can go a little bit low, we don't want free. It's okay, we understand, because we're still doing business. It should be 50% for few months until this COVID is there. Just a suggestion. I know how it will affect, but it's just a suggestion for everybody, all the restaurant people.
They should let us open with immediate effect, and especially to save jobs. And as I know, behind most of my people is a family. There may be a COVID-20 and there may be a 3rd, 4th, 5th wave. So in a way, we need to learn to live with this threat, and just hiding away and getting no income, I think that is not what we should do. And last but not least, also please support foreign small companies as we are as a government, because we did not only bring investment here, we also bring a lot of sharing, a lot of knowledge, and we do a lot for the whole hospitality industry. So Seeds is a kind also of a leading property, and they should trust in us that we take this virus serious, and we are taking safety measurements for our staff, but also for the customers. And please support us as well into some social contributions or other contributions. So I think, like it is done in other countries, we are also expecting a sign of appreciation.